All right. I think we are live. Aloha and welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savvy, the founder of Give Me a Break. And we are a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers. And we just want to bring back the joy of caregiving. Enough of this depression and isolation, and let's have some joy in the fact that we are giving. I want to work very hard to change that in our lives. And each week, we're going to help caregivers not only to get your joy, but also to survive because it is a survival journey. Survival, the show got nothing on caregiving. But anyway, you can check this all out and you can get more information on our website at gab808.org because, you're tired, you're frustrated, and doggone it, you need a break. Check us out. Go on our website. We do give a break every week on our support sessions, and you can come online. You don't even have to worry about getting in your car and going anywhere. We do everything online. It's a great thing that kind of came out of the pandemic, right? I know you're all zoomed out, but this is a Zoom that you want for you. It's definitely there. It's a group of caregivers. We're just a community of caregivers who are there to support you, not a bunch of professionals. You take a break just for you, get positive, get encouraged, get through your week. And you can do that any Tuesday, 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, or Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So either one's fine, or both. If you need it, join us. We're here. It's free and online, so totally convenient, totally affordable for you. And every caregiver really does need these sessions. I'll tell you, last night, a pretty intense session about letting go of caregiver guilt. That's the session we're in right now. And with letting go of caregiver guilt, the first thing, of course, is to realize that you have caregiver guilt. And then you kind of have to move from there. So we've been taking steps, and we really talked about setting life goals last night. And it's hard when you're so surrounded by all of the negativity that comes from dealing with the caregiving experience and journey that you were already on. So it's a really good discussion about how to get past that and move forward and just sort of set little baby step goals. But, we're going to review it again come Tuesday of next week. So join us in the evening, or this Saturday, we'll be talking about it as well. So get on a session. And if you don't remember how to get on our sessions, or you don't know how, just go to our website again. Where is it? I have to pop it up on the screen. There it is. gab808.org, or you can text us at 808-754-3787. All right, there you go. Great tips. Now, the Caring Caregiver Show is sponsored by Giver's Guide, and Giver's Guides is a giver's guides to caregiving. So it's exclusively written by caregivers from a caregiver's point of view. And so what you get in this magazine, and it's an online magazine, so you don't have to carry anything around. You don't need any more opala, no more paper laying around your house. You don't have to worry about killing trees. You're definitely lessening your carbon footprint. So it's all online. You can read it on your phone, look at it on your tablet, on your PC, on your laptop, take it with you anywhere you go. And that's the beauty of it, because it's really the only publication out there that is specifically directed to caregivers. So get your subscription, go to giversguides.com right there on the screen, giversguides.com. And you can check out a couple of past issues there too, if you want, just to see, maybe, it's not up your alley. Who knows? I think it is, but check it out. All right. So today is March 15th. And guess what? It's only 10 days. Woo! So excited till our Hawaii Caregivers Expo. And our March issue, by the way, if you get a subscription today, you'll get the March issue free because your first issue is always free. So the March issue you're going to get, and it's just filled with some of the resources that are going to be at our expo. We have over 30 different represented partners and participants at the expo. A lot's going to happen. We got the Lions are going to be doing CPR. We've got the VA doing vaccinations. We've got just a wonderful, wonderful array of different resources just for caregivers. So if you want to check that out, also go to our website. You can check that out. But it's really important that we do this, and it's important that we have our expo because, again, I throw this out at you guys. I throw this at you every week, but the percentage of caregivers that pass before their caree is at 50%. Take a breath. 50%. That means that half of us are not going to survive the one we care for. I cannot even breathe. That's a lot. Your wellness matters. Your journey needs support. Okay. We know you're tired and frustrated, you're operating in chaos, but you need help. You need that support. And here's one right here. Just subscribe to the Givers Guides magazine, come to the expo for free. Subscribe to the magazine, $25 for the year, 12 issues, 13 actually. You get an extra one free. Totally worth it. What's the last thing you spent $25 on? Take out at McDonald's. Well, you poop that out the next day. Now you got something you can watch all the time. It's a great thing to have. Get subscribed and know that your subscription profits are donated to Give Me a Break so that we can keep doing these things and helps pay for this show so that we can keep getting you in touch with the resources that you need. If you don't have a subscription, you don't want one, fine. Get one for a caregiver that you know. It's a great, great thing that you'll do for them. All right, so getting on with the show. Blah, blah, blah. So I was talkative today. How many of you caregivers are having a difficult time with your siblings or your family members when it comes to the one you care for? Raise your hand. How many of you are having a hard time? Everything's falling on you, right? It's all on your lap. Can't seem to talk to people. Well, our guest today, our first guest today, who is also going to be at our expo, is somebody who's very experienced at this. She's an experienced facilitator. She's skilled in conflict resolution, facilitation, and public relations with a Master of Arts and MA in communication from our own University of Manoa. And so I haven't been able to prep her, but I'm going to welcome her on. And here she is. There you are. Hey, Katie,
Hello.
you made it.
Hi. Yes, I do apologize. Thank you so much. We had a
Oh,
little
glad
bit of
you're
technical
here.
issues on the side.
That's okay. Good. This is Katie Rowney, our program. She's the program director of the Mediation Center of the Pacific. So some of you may not even know this existed, but Katie's amazing. And what you do at the Mediation Center of the Pacific, especially for the Ohana that's caregiving, is so much heart, so much. And I know you have a little bit of a caregiving story. You've been on our show before, so it's been a while though, you know. It's so exciting to have you back, and so excited to have you at the expo. But just give us a quick update or whatever, and give us your caregiving story.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me back on. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for everything that you do. We do, like, personally, I also recognize, but also the Mediation Center recognizes all of the hard work that the caregivers in Hawaii do. We started up our Kupunapono program because we saw that there is such a need for helping families to resolve their conflict around the caregiving for an elder, for their kupuna, because so many people on the island are caregivers themselves.
And it's
Um,
insane. It's
it
insane what
really
they're going
is.
through.
Yeah, and there is, some support out there, but it really, it can feel really, yeah, like you're on your own and you're having to just figure things out. I have a deep connection with it. My grandmother was, you know, she's getting older. She was ill, and her daughter, my auntie, was sort of the main familial unpaid caregiver who was living with her, and we were always wanting to help out and wanting to help out as much as we possibly could. But oftentimes we just didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to help, and we didn't know how to have that conversation. And you know, I could see the stress that it caused my auntie. I could see, um, what she was going through,
Yeah.
and she ended up being one of that 50% that you were talking about.
Oh.
earlier, she passed before my grandmother did. And it just, I didn't realize how common that is. Um,
It's a
and
shocking statistic. And the more you talk about it, the more you get people like yourself who will say, oh my God, that happened to me, or that happened to my family. And it's just, we need to change that. And we need to change it by whatever we're doing. I mean, my own father passed from caregiver burnout as well. And so he was in that statistic. It's just, it needs to change. We're definitely not doing something right if this is happening half the time, right?
yeah,
And we need to do something about it. And you are. And I love that you brought up the Kupuna Pono program, because here's the scenario. Right. I'm the one that got stuck, or I'm the one that got uh, unofficially appointed to care for Kupuna, whoever in the family. And so brothers and sisters are living their life, and I haven't had a full night's sleep in a year. And I ask them, can you help me? What can I handle? Right? Or whatever it is that comes up. And they don't always have that empathy, or they're too busy, or their lives are too caught up. And so you're all alone, you're not getting the help you need, and you try to communicate. And sometimes it's a fight over money, sometimes it's a fight over time, sometimes it's a fight over whatever. Call Katie. Why? How are you helping us? I'm calling you now. How are you going to help me, Katie?
so we would have you as part of our Kupuna Pono program. It would be either a mediation or a family conference, depending on what kind of dispute it is, what kind of conflict is coming up, what sort of communication issues there are. If it really is, you are just trying to reach out, you've never been able to get schedules set together, you know, they say, oh yeah, sure, we'll come over on Tuesday, and then there's a Tuesday, and then there's a conflict, and then the next Tuesday is a conflict, and the next, and so it's never really worked out well. And you want to, okay, we got to get a plan together. We got to have something so that this responsibility can then be shared in some way, in whatever way works for the family. And so that conversation can be very difficult. It can be very sensitive, especially if you're already at this level of burnout as a caregiver. Um, you're right, as your emotions go up, as the sleep goes down,
Yeah.
logic goes down, and the ability
You
to
get a yelling match, right?
yes, it ends up being yelling, and everything from the past gets brought
Oh,
forward, and
God,
all
yes.
sorts of
Right.
right. So, so what this program is there for is to have these trained facilitators and mediators who are there to help moderate that conversation, to help people who are having a hard time to speak to be able to speak, and to have people who might be running over the other people to step back and listen and really help them to listen and to make a plan and to really figure it out. Is it about finances? Is there a specific thing about finances on like who's paying for what? Let's focus in on that and let's talk about that. Is it about scheduling? Is it about, here are certain tasks that if they were to be managed by someone other than that primary person, then it would make everything even out a little bit more. Are we talking about meals? Are we talking about transportation? And then we help to facilitate that conversation so that the family can bring their own ideas, because the family does actually know what's going to work best for them,
Yeah.
what kind of resources they have. And so we invite that in, brainstorm, generate a lot of options. Talk about silly options as well as things that, maybe right off the bat you think are going to work, because who knows? It might
Who
be
knows?
that,
That's right.
yeah,
And I
that
think that,
something that you think is pie in the sky,
yeah,
there may
you never
be
know.
somebody who's like, oh yeah, no wait, I have a friend from work who knows about something something,
Right, right,
and it
right.
just
But if you
hasn't
don't
come
have
up
the
before.
discussions, then they're not gonna. And that's the whole thing, right? People think, oh, mediation. What, you're taking legal action, and it's really not that, right? This is really about having someone who's impartial, right? Not going to get emotional, who can help keep things in control, and who can help everyone to have that time where they can feel comfortable enough right? To have their voice. Is that correct?
Exactly. That's exactly it. And it's somebody who's not going to, who is on everybody's side. They
Right,
really just
right,
want a resolution that works.
right.
So you can't, there's not really anything where you're saying, oh, well, so and so always sides with you.
Correct.
That always, that baggage comes up with these mediators, these facilitators. They don't have any of that. They really just want a good resolution. And I love that you talked about it not being a legal process. It is not a legal process at all. If you want to do something legal, that's going to be something else. This
Yep.
is about having that good conversation and coming to actual solutions that can actually work.
Yep. And it's
Um,
okay that we don't all have great communication skills. That's okay. You don't need to. That's why you have somebody who does and who can help everybody to bring out what they have to in a way that everyone can palate it. It's okay that you're not good. I'm not so good at talking. I'm shy. That's okay. All the more reason to contact the Mediation Center of the Pacific, because that's what they do. They can be
yeah,
that middle person that helps everybody. They're impartial. They're not on anyone's side, but everyone gets a voice. And that's what's
yeah,
really important. I think it's super important. I wish I had this when I was going through my care for both my parents. And,
yeah.
it's just something that's an amazing, amazing thing. Now, maybe they're thinking, okay, well, that's just going to cost me money. So, how does your program work?
So we want to make sure that mediation and these dispute resolution services are accessible for everyone. We schedule our conferences and mediations for 3-hour sessions. A lot of people are like, 3 hours? It'll go by really
Really
quickly.
fast.
Really fast. If you start listing out all the things that you kind of want to talk about, 3 hours, we get it done in that time, and you'll be amazed at what comes out from that. But for each of the 3-hour sessions, we do have a flat fee, $250, but that can be split amongst the family on however that is. But really, if the family is in financial straits and they can't afford that, we do have a scale that will help to accommodate that. We do have a partnership with Kaiser, so if you are a Kaiser member, they help to cover it, and we waive the fee for that. So that's something good if your health insurance is there, and we're working with other health insurances trying to see
That's
if we can
amazing.
get
So
that
they can
too.
actually tell their doctor that they want to try mediation, and that they can ask to have a recommendation or to use the Mediation Center of the Pacific if they have a Kaiser plan.
Absolutely, yes,
Well,
that
you
is
guys get out
100%.
there. Get out there,
Yeah.
talk to your doctors.
Yeah, and this is, some people feel like, oh, my family's, we're not going to end up on like daytime television shows. We're not yelling and screaming at each other. We're not doing any of that. Why would we need this?
We'll put them on our show. I'll do a Jerry Springer imitation, and we'll drag them on the show. No, we would never do
No, no,
that.
no. And it doesn't have to be that. You don't have
No,
um, like all of the families that come to us, they love each other. They want to support each other. They are a family. It's just this is a hard thing to do. And when you're doing something hard, getting help from an expert is just like a no-brainer.
it is.
Um, it's we our mediators are trained. They go through hours and hours of training. They have practice for this. um, this is something that they do, and they do very well. And so it's never, I wouldn't want anybody to be seeing it as like a failure of communication. Oh no, you are being proactive. You
Yeah,
are helping to take control by soliciting the right support. You
right,
would ask a nurse about medical assistance.
right,
You'll
right.
ask a mediator about communication assistance.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I love
Uh,
that, because we never think of that. And again, I never even thought to look for something like that. And now that I know it's out there, again, I would have used it. And I think of people all the time that need this, and I tell them, call the Mediation Center of the Pacific, call Katie, get a hold of them. You need their help. And it's not a weakness. It's actually a strength to communicate effectively. because in the end, you get happy families, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you have clarity. That is something that I've noticed that a lot of families who go through these mediations, these facilitations, there's clarity at the end. A lot of times caregiving plans are made piecemeal. Oh, this has come up, so I need to take care of this. Oh, this
Yeah,
is going to happen, so this
yeah,
needs to, and oh, can so and so step in for just a little bit? Whereas when you're really sitting down and going through it and the facilitators are there, they're taking notes, they're making sure that, if somebody says that they agree to something, they're going to ask a couple questions, can you do this? How are you going to get it done? When are
yeah,
you going to get it done by? Something that's really awkward to ask on your
yeah,
own,
yeah.
but the mediator's there to
So
be
there's
like,
an accountability, right?
yeah, let's set a deadline and now I'm going to write it down.
I
And then
love
at the end of it, everyone has that sort of written thing saying, okay, this is what we agreed to. This is who's going to do, is it research? Is it the, scheduling of
that. Right,
coming
right,
in? Is it
right.
services? But it's written and there. And people have an idea, like the family has an idea all together. They're all on the same page.
Yeah.
What are we going to do together?
Yeah, I love that. And I love that there's success stories. And, you know, um, again, it's so important to get that communication, get a mediator, contact the mediation center of the Pacific. Contact information is right on the screen, by the way. It is mediatehawaii.org. Come on, you guys, it's that simple. Mediatehawaii.org, or call 808-521-6767. Easy number to remember as well. And you can talk to Katie or whoever answers a phone there, because I've talked to several people there, and each one of them, you can hear their heart in their voice. They care about what they do. They're all good people, and we wouldn't send you there if they weren't. So, any last things you wanted to share with us?
I think that is about it. And just, yeah. And even if you just have the idea of like, maybe, if that thought is there, maybe we could use a little help with this. Call and talk to us. We're here. We'll answer your questions. We'll walk you through the process. And the best part is that when we're scheduling a time to come together, we handle the scheduling. You tell us who's going to be participating in there. You give us their phone number. You give us their email, and then we work it out. So that's even if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I've got to coordinate all of my siblings all together. We'll help you do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even if it's just a maybe in your mind, call, ask, find out a little bit more, see if we can get you started
yeah.
on that road towards a real family, a good family plan.
I agree. I agree. It doesn't hurt to just talk to someone and find out. At least you're taking a step in the right direction. And the bottom line is, what's the worst that could happen? Hey, you tried. If you
Yeah.
don't try at all, then nothing's going to get resolved. So why not try to get some resolution, get some help from professionals who are willing to be there for you? And I don't know, if you need to get more questions answered, come to the expo, talk with whoever's there in your booth. And if you're there, Katie, I know they'll recognize you from the show. So just go up and talk to them right there. They're going to be there for you. So you can ask any question you want and get the answers you need. Really excited to have you. So glad you came on today.
Thank you so
Mahalo
much.
and have a great day. Thank you so much for being on,
Thank
Katie.
you. I appreciate the time here. Thank you. Have a good one.
Great. Aloha.
Bye.
Oh, wait, what did I do here? And there we go. Gotcha. Okay. And Katie, by the way, just press that red button if you didn't remember. You can leave the studio at any time, or you're welcome to hang out in the green room. Sorry, no snacks. All right. And I want to apologize. I know there's a little bit of background noise today. You got the microwave going and the sink going there. So hopefully that's not picking up on the mic. But, I'm working from home today. And there's things that we just have to do in order to live every day. But I also want to take a quick moment to talk about, again, our March issue of the Giver's Guides, because Katie can help you talk with your family. But we also need to talk to ourselves. So there's a really good article written by Danette Pernod. You all know her. She's actually, Penrod. She also just wrote a book as well. She's the one whose husband is an amputee. She talks about her whole caregiving journey, but she writes an article every month, every issue in our magazine. And the one she has this March issue is called Controlling Self-Talk. So it's really about how we talk to ourselves. And that's super important. So I think you really enjoy that. She's actually a holistic health and lifestyle advocate. She also specializes in aromatherapy. So she not only tells you about self-talk, but she also gives you the correct essential oil to help keep you positive. So I really highly recommend that you get and read that article, get a subscription, read that article. And of course, her contact information is there if you ever need any questions at all. She's just an amazing, giving person. Okay, so on with our next guest, who will also be at our expo, and a licensed insurance agent. He is a Hawaii based Hawaiian health and wellness practitioner and a Medicare advisor. Throughout the years, he's really helped achieve wellness through the Hawaiian healing practices, as well as helped hundreds of people choose their Medicare health plans. A graduate of Kamehameha schools, he received a double major bachelor's degree in community health and physical activity and exercise and a minor in community development from the Portland State University in Oregon. Please, now that I'm almost out of breath, join me in greeting a big aloha to Kamaka Jingao with Financial Benefit Partners. Welcome, Kamaka. So good to have you
Oh,
here.
mahalo, Savvy. It's good to be on your show once again. Thank you
How's
for
that
continuing to
intro,
host
bro?
this. You got him. You got him. You got it.
I know you have a caregiving story too. So, like I ask everybody, let's hear your caregiving story. And you've been on the show before, Ed, but it's been a long time. You know, we've had 75 podcasts, 75. And
Amazing.
we're in season 9 now. So I'd say
Amazing.
we're season 8 now. So awesome. And I think you might have come on like back in season 2 or 3. So
So you got to
hey,
invite me for your 200th
I,
podcast.
I
You
I'm gonna
got
invite you like
to.
every week, I think.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Especially during the open season, because Medicare is so important. People need to understand that. But before that, let's talk about your caregiving story.
Yeah, so from a young age, it was very important for my parents that respect for our kupunas, those relationships.
Yeah.
So every summer, I got three other siblings. My mom guys would send two of us to visit my mom's side of the family in Kohala, and two of us to Japan, where my dad's side of the family is from, for the whole
What?
summers. Yeah, so looking back on those days, you know what I mean, of being in like places away from our parents, being young kids, right? But we developed these relationships with our kupuna, with our grandparents. So
Wow.
looking back on that, it was like some of the most important times and something that I kind of want to continue to instill with our kids, right? And um, circle back around now, we just had a baby like 2 months ago.
Congrats.
Um, so shout out Kaualani.
Oh,
And we also have a 5-year-old. So now my caregiving is taking care of these young kids that we have, right? So
yes.
when you talked about it, when you was first talking about the joy of caregiving, reinstilling that as a parent,
Yeah.
right? Caring not just for our elders, but
Yeah.
also caring for our kids,
Yes.
and that you know same type of things that caregivers go through, right? Sleepless nights, right?
Yeah.
Waking
Well,
up a couple
sleep,
times
right?
a night,
Sleep and joy are like the scale, right? So the less sleep, the less joy, right? The more sleep, the more joy.
and working with a lot of seniors. I've been doing this Medicare for over 8 years now.
Yeah.
And what they always tell me is how quick life goes by, and this aspect of time just flies by, right? So they're always like, Kamaka, all this time that you have with your kids, caregiving for them, make
Yeah.
sure you enjoy it because before you know it, they're
It's
going to
gone.
be grown up, out
Gotta
of
give
the
me the keys to
house,
the car. Yeah.
married. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything kind of goes by,
Yeah.
so I'm really soaking this up and
Good
keeping
for you.
that in mind, keeping that reminder because sometimes we all got to be reminded, right?
Yes.
Like caregivers in general got to remind, hey, take a break, make
Take a
sure you take
break.
time for yourself, do what you love to do,
Yeah.
right?
And we don't want to
Continue.
be a statistic. And
Exactly.
caregivers, parents are included in that statistic. So there are parents who are not surviving their own children because of the weight of caregiving for them. So, this is a scary statistic that it involves all caregivers. And, even as a parent, we can't have that. we can't have children that are going without a father or a mother because they're losing them to a stroke or a heart
Hmm.
attack or death, or of some kind, because of a health issue that could have been avoided by just a little bit of self-care and wellness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot. We don't have to become gurus, right? We don't have to become like, oh, I am a well care and healthy. We don't have to do that. Just little bits of it here and there in our lives make all the difference. And worry is a big one, right?
Oh,
If we
stress,
worry, it
big
takes
time.
its toll on its body. So why not plan for your Medicare now, right? You need to plan ahead. And so that's why, really, I think too, that ties in with wellness and what a lot of caregivers don't take care of themselves. They're so
Hmm.
busy taking care of an older person, for instance, that they know they got coverage, but they're not taking care of their own needs for their caregiving future. They're going to need a caregiver. They're going to need to be taken care of at one point, and maybe they don't
Exactly.
have that
And
plan, right?
and I think that's super important how, because a lot of the caregivers these days, maybe they're the kids taking care of their parents,
Yeah,
right? So for me, when it comes to the Medicare, making sure that everyone's kind of on the same page, right? Making sure that maybe the caregiver, the kid, right, needs to know what kind of coverage their parent has, right?
yeah.
Because for a lot of them, that
How to
can,
use it? Yeah,
yeah, exactly, how to maximize these benefits, right? They got all these additional benefits that they can utilize, and maybe the kupuna and that person needing, they could be in their 70s,
yeah,
right, and not knowing what kind of coverage I have, because hey, as kupunas, you know what I mean, sometimes we kind of forget, right?
yeah,
We all do, right? And sometimes having that child know what kind of benefits could kind of reinforce the importance of their health,
yeah. Well, I
right?
didn't
And
even know my parents when I was taking care of them. I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even realize. Okay, they have Medicare. Okay, what does that mean? I have no idea. I have no idea whether or not they had the right coverages. I
exactly.
assume they knew, and who knew, right? I mean, sometimes even like when you get a job, when you're not doing Medicare, you get a job, you're getting health insurance for your company. So you just go, I want medical, but you don't know what that is.
Exactly.
You just
Even
know you want
myself,
medical, right?
even exactly, even myself looking to maximize the benefits that I have, even
Right,
though I'm not on Medicare, I have group insurance, making sure that I maximize the benefits.
right.
How can we as be more knowledgeable and educated on what kind of coverage we have so
Yeah.
we can prolong our youth?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And then
Like, how can
Medicare
we,
changes like all the time too, right? It's constantly changing. So you've
every
got to
year
keep
plans
it.
may change.
Yes. And you got to like keep up with it. So the more what you don't know till you know, right? So the more you know, the better, right? And so,
Exactly.
I know that you're very good about working with people and helping see things that they didn't even see and explaining that to them, right? And
Yeah.
that's so important. It's just so important.
Yeah, I think education is very important for our people, and that concept of continuing to be teachable, right? So like, even as we age, my uncle who lives in Kohala, he's in his 80s, still learning, still being teachable, still wanting to, learn a lot of these things, grow,
Yeah,
and
I love that.
I think it's very important for our people to know that, hey, we can continue to learn, we can
Yeah,
continue to grow,
yeah,
right, in that process.
yeah.
So making sure that, we still have that, come back to that joy, you
My
know.
90-year-old piano teacher, when I was a kid, she was younger, but I ran into her later in her 90s, and she was still teaching piano. And I said to her, how do you do it? And she said, I never stop learning. I never stop learning. And she retired at 98, and she
Beautiful.
at 99 she passed a year later because she
Yeah.
stopped. And I think that that's the key, is you have to keep learning. You just have to
Hmm.
keep growing and learning. But when it comes to your medical care, that's just something you don't want to mess around with. I mean, I don't know. And Medicare is tough to navigate and tough to understand,
Yeah.
but I know you make it really simple for
And
people to understand, right?
yeah, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that it's simple for people, right? Everybody's bombarded with all kind of information, right? So I think it's for us is keeping it as simple as possible for our people, knowing what kind of benefits they have, and then figuring out how they can maximize it,
Yeah.
right? And um, for a lot of people, there's a lot of different benefits that, hey, we want to maybe pinpoint, right? Like dental benefits for a lot of people
Yeah.
is something that can help gain confidence, So if people niho ole, no more teeth for some people,
Mm.
hey, that makes them
Yep.
want to stay in the house more often or
Right.
not communicate with even their grandkids,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Um,
And
so
that isolation is so bad for them.
knowing what kind of needs and the important aspect of everybody is different, right? As we know, Savi, like each caregiving story is different,
Yep.
right? So making sure that we know that, hey, even when they come to their health care and their health insurance plans, their
Right.
Medicare
Right.
plans,
Right. Right.
husband and wife, brother, sister, they may be on different plans because they have different needs,
Needs.
right?
And that's
Someone
the
may
thing. Nobody understands that there are different plans for different needs. There
exactly,
are.
or everyone wants to follow what their friends are doing, right? But
Right.
hey,
I'll
this
just have what
person,
she has. You can't
yeah,
do that. This ain't
yeah,
Zupies.
no, yeah, you know what I mean? Like we cannot, it's not a one size fits all
Fits
type
all.
of
Yeah.
deal,
And there's
you
also
know.
a difference too, because there's Medicare, Medicaid, and there's a difference. And we won't get into that, but there is. And,
Mhm.
there's also certain things in a program that might fit caregiving needs, right? So if you're going to be planning for your own caregiving in the future, then you're going to want to make sure that you know which plan of Medicare, or if you want to have the Medicaid, and what you have to have in that, and again, customize it to what you need. The other thing too, I know, is that there's also like a look back, right? So
Mhm.
there's like a 7-year look back, so you might want to plan for that, right? And know that 7 years before you have to apply for something or get some sort of coverage, you want to make sure that maybe you get your life in order. And the planning is what makes the success for you later in life when you have to depend on Medicare and Medicaid for your medical coverage. And I think that a lot of people don't think about that. I know I didn't, because it's too
Yeah,
bad, too late for me now. But I didn't think about that, and
yeah.
I wish I'd known that.
Most people they don't think about it until they're in that situation, right? So
Right.
I think it's important for us to plan
Yeah.
um, and look forward, but also living in the moment. I think is important for our people too, right? We always plan, right? Having that balance of planning, but still being in the moment, right? Because
Right.
sometimes we get caught
And
away.
appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate where we're at. We get caught up trying to plan, and before we know it, we lost out on time that we should have been taking care
Spending time.
of,
Right.
spending
I
time.
actually, I love that you spent time in Kohala, North Kohala on the Big Island, folks. And I lived there for I lived on the Big Island for 15 years. But my first house I bought was in North Kohala. And I lived out there. I loved it. I taught at the school there, and I love living out there. It's just the best place on the earth. Anyway, Kamuala and Kohala, all that area is so beautiful. And also I spent my summers in Japan because of
Beautiful.
my family. So I didn't realize that about that we had that in common. So do you speak Japanese?
I do. I took 4 years of high school
Right.
Japanese, and
Uh-huh.
then more conversational. Like if you drop me in Japan today, I could happily get around and find my way around and talk story. And
Wasugoi.
yeah, I could definitely, um,
Well,
you know,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Yeah, because I kind of grew up there. I summered in Japan. I schooled in Hawaii, and I got to, be with my cousins and my grandma and my grandpa in Japan as a child. So I understand that too. I know what that's like, and it's hard to sometimes be away because everybody back home here in Hawaii were at the beach, and you come home and you weren't there playing with them all summer, but it's okay. I got to
Mhm.
spend time with another family that I have, and I got to really spend time with my grandparents. And that to me was very precious because I didn't have any with me on the island here. So
Mhm.
I think that's something that we have that in common. That's very cool.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
those relationships are priceless.
Yeah.
Having that time with
Great
our
memory.
family members, and those memories are,
Plus, the food is ono.
oh,
The
definitely oishi.
food in Japan is so good.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys, we could go on talking for hours about our lives, but we're here because of your lives. and your lives as caregivers. So not only do you want to be informed because of your plan, your caregiving plan, and where you are going to be for your Medicare, and being able to get the right agent for you, but also those you care for. So the kupuna that you're caring for now may need you to help them sort things out, because they may not be getting the best of their plan, and they need a lot of things, and they need help. So talk to Kamaka, and you can see it. Look at you, listen to him. He's got a great heart, and his focus is on health and wellness, and he's a good local boy. He understands you. Give him a call. You can talk to him, and your contact information. Did I put it up? I didn't put it. You were supposed to remind me, Kamaka.
Oh, sorry about that. That was
I'll put it on now, right?
perfect. They
There
got my
you
number
go.
right over
So
there.
there's your number right there. It's 808-286-0022. I'm so excited to have you on the show. That's okay. And you can contact him. Go to his website, which is kamakajingao.com, or you can go kjingao at FBI HI, which is the FBI, which is Financial Benefits Insurance, the company, and HI for Hawaii, HI. So it's FBI, like the FBI, HI.com. And you can contact him there. So that's his contact information. Again, 808-286-0022. And Kamaka Jingao is with Financial Benefits Insurance. Just remember the FBI. He's with the FBI.
Exactly. And come visit us at the Caregivers Expo. We'll be over at the expo, so come visit us, talk story with us.
And his whole
over
team,
there.
they were at our expo last year too. If
Yes.
some of you who are listening came to our expo last year, they were at our expo last year, and the whole team is amazing. And they just stop. They'll talk story with you. They'll answer your questions. They're amazing. So I'm really happy to have you guys at our expo again this year. Kamaka, was there anything else you wanted to just mention before I sign you off?
No, I mean, just wanted to drop you flowers, Savvy, for the consistency of what you do, and the love for our caregivers and our people, and building relationships to help our people out. So mahalo nui to you, Savvy, for holding the line for our people and our caregivers.
Absolutely. And from the heart, thank you for your kindness and your heart. And congratulations on another
mahalo.
addition to your family. That's so exciting. So
Mahalo.
yep. Bless you, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so happy you came on today, Kamaka.
Right
Aloha.
on. Aloha.
Okay, there. I did my whole technical thing too. Look at that. I got all of the things on the screen and everything right. So just a reminder, you guys, it's our second annual Hawaii Caregivers Expo coming up at the Windward Mall, and that's in Kaneohe on March 25th, which is not this coming Saturday, next Saturday. It's the last Saturday in this month. So this Saturday you can go beach. The next Saturday you have to come to our expo. And it's 9 to 5. It's all day long. We've got amazing vendors. Bring your carry, bring your kupuna with you. We have all kinds of things that you're going to be able to get information on. We're not selling anything. This isn't a craft fair. This isn't a sales fair. This is a resource fair. They are there to give you information that you need. So you don't have to worry about anyone trying to sell you anything. All you have to do is come and get informed. It's a great opportunity for caregivers. We have nothing like this, and it's about time. So please come to the expo. I'd love to see you there. We have a great show. We're gonna have a keiki hula in the morning. There's gonna be keiki hula in the afternoon. We have the Ahuna Ohana and friends that are going to be performing for us. They'll be performing ukulele, hula, and some really great and wonderful things that the Ohana does, and their family and friends are going to be there. So check them out. We also have live music as well in the morning with Pineapple Squeeze, got the juice. So Jeff and Roy will be there making wonderful music in the morning. And then to close us up in the afternoon, we'll have Reheated with Jackie Burke, playing some amazing get you going kind of music. It's going to be awesome, really exciting. And of course, giveaways. You don't want to miss those giveaways throughout the day. You could win a foot massager. Hey, so get to the expo. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited about it. Can't wait. Not this Saturday, the following. All right. So, and that's March 25th at the Windward Mall. Okay, well, gosh, thank you so much to Kamaka and to Katie for coming on the show today, giving us great information. And again, don't forget, we have our online support sessions every Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Just go on to gab808.org and get that information for our support sessions. All right. Whew, so that's our show. Join me next week. We'll talk to 3 amazing caregivers. Bryce Sumida with Haleho Aloha, and he's going to talk about caregiver respite as well. And Derek Ariyoshi with the State Office of Elder Affairs. Also, we'll have Faye Walsh from Adam and Associates to talk more about some Medicare and other insurance benefits for caregivers. So that's going to be really exciting. They all will be at our expo as well. So you can get a sneaky peek to what they do on our show. Tune in next week. Go ahead and set a reminder on your phone right now to tune in live every Wednesday at noon. And that's for the Caring Caregiver Show, brought to you by Gimme a Break. And of course, sponsored, mahalo to our sponsors, Givers Guides. And don't worry if you miss us live, you can go on and check out our podcasts on Spotify, Apple, or any platform that you use. Just search the Caring Caregiver Show.com or go to our website, caringcaregivershow.com, or search Caring Caregiver Show. And if you're watching live on our YouTube channel, please subscribe, please follow, please like us, because when you do that, we love those algorithms, right? Gets us out there more caregivers will see this, more caregivers will get an opportunity to get resourced and get supported. And that's our goal. So always, please follow and subscribe on any of the platforms you're watching. And in the meantime, remember, breathe. It's going to be okay. Here's hoping that you find more joy in your caregiving each week here on the Caring Caregiver Show. Thanks for tuning in, and please always be kind to you, be kind to yourself, and all who are caring. Aloha, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye.